talking to God and telling him jokes. And that would be my picture, Josh. One more question, and then I'm about to bring up Mike Phillips in just a minute.
There's a bunch of good ones. How does someone deal with staying motivated while being diagnosed with a serious disease?
Okay, how does one... Mike, come on up here right now. Give Mike a big clap. Mike Phillips on the way. From Orlando, Florida.
Hey.
All right. So how does one stay motivated? They've been diagnosed with an illness. We got to take this in, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of you watching right now that you're ill and you're struggling either with cancer or you're struggling with some form of illness that's made you have to stay in the house, struggling with depression. How can one stay motivated in the midst of what they feel? So they're feeling this every day.
Yeah.
How do they stay motivated?
Motivation is always tied to your vision. And so you have to get a picture of yourself in your most healthy state, get a picture of yourself doing what you want to do. Even though you feel a certain way, you can think yourself into a certain position in life. And so continue to think along lines of healthy, strong, powerful, and then your life will go that direction.
Yes.
I never want to take a diagnosis and paint myself in that situation.
Wow. And I like what you just said. So because you will be diagnosed.
Correct.
And so let's say they diagnose you with something. If you're not careful, you will hear that diagnosis and then start to respond and react accordingly.
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Which could be fear, intimidation, regret, anger.
And there's also so many photographs of people in that diagnosis that look a certain way.
Yeah.
I told one guy who was going through a situation, I said, get a picture of yourself healthy, get your family pictures around you, and get the most happiest visions of yourself in that room with you.
Mike Phillips is amazing. I mean, you have the military background, you have the business background, aerospace.
Yes.
You pastored a church with you and your wonderful wife Samantha, who will come up in a minute, of over 1,000 members at one time. And now you're helping me at the congregation with the men's ministry, which we're going to expand.
Yeah.
We're going to expand our men's ministry into the thousands. We will have conventions that will have thousands of men. If you men that are watching right now would like to come to one of our men's meetings, we have phenomenal meetings. We bring some of the best guests in the world. If you men are paying attention right now, send me some male emojis. What kind of emojis can the men send? Men, send me some emojis right now. Women, if you're glad we're helping the men's, send me some emojis, all right? So tell me about, when you were in the military, were there times that you felt like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to get out of this situation?
Basic training was one of those times.
Yeah.
I remember waking up 3 o'clock in the morning saying, what did I do to myself?
Yes.
But then I realized this is good for me. And so it was just a matter of taking it all in.
Yes.
Yeah, take it all in and then just meditate on what's next.
Okay. I got a marriage question for you.
Sure.
So I've been getting a lot of questions coming in this week, even by some of my friends by text. They want to know how you know when it's right. And this was a particular person that's been dating somebody for 3 years. Okay. And it's a man asking me. I'm still wondering, is she the one? And for that, we're bringing in Samantha Phillips. Come over here in the house. Come on over. Okay, give her a big clap. Come on, studio audience. Cameraman, go back and forth. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Joseph, you're such a good cameraman today. You're not even shaking too much. All right, Samantha, this is a man. Okay, this is my friend, and he is a man. And he is 40 years of age. He's been divorced before. He said, I could say all this. He's been divorced before. So he's a little bit scared.
Right.
He's been dating this person 3 years. How does he know that this is the one?
Oh, it's such a good question. I think first and foremost, instead of focusing on whether the person is the one, you've got to focus on whether you're the one.
Ah.
You know?
Okay. Tell me about that.
Well, you know, when you've been through things, you have to allow yourself to be healed. Because it really is important. You don't want two halves trying to come together to be one. It's important that each person is an individual whole, and then there's the fusing of two wholes that becomes something that is unbreakable and unshakable. So number one, it's making sure that you're the one. Number one. And I think when you're confident that you're the one, it's easier to make the decision on who the one for you is. So I think that's where it starts.
Yes.
Being whole and healed yourself.
Okay, so what should he do with that nervousness and pain from his past? Okay, because I face that. Okay, I've been through situations, so now you're like, yikes, like who is this person? What is the person really like? And a lot of people, they just decide to stay alone because of the pain they've been in the past.
Right.
So how do you work through that pain?
Well, I think it's all back to your source of peace and your source of strength. So whenever you have your connection with God, I mean, ultimately, because that's where you know who you are, you know whose you are. There is a wholeness and a strength and a peace that comes whenever that bond and your purpose and who you are, what you're supposed to be doing is so clear. Honestly, for me, and I think it's what's kept us together for almost 20 years, is knowing that despite our personality differences, and we're very different, yes. Despite any challenges we've been through, heartbreaks we've been through, all of those things, we know that we were put together on purpose, and that led us beyond our differences. Yeah. So when you know your purpose, it's easier to understand and see and allow God to show you how that person will be a part of that purpose.
Yes, that makes sense. Now you guys are traveling actually the world doing marriage seminars, successful marriage seminars on success, but you're also marriage coaching, right? You guys are doing that. And so tell me the name of that thing that you do with your marriage coaching. What is it called again?
It's Platinum Marriages.
Platinum Marriages, which to you means the top.
The top. It's the highest level.
Exactly. Platinum, when it comes to marriage, it's the highest classification. It's the longest in marriage. It is in metals, it is strong and it's most valuable.
Ooh, I like that. And then how can people get a hold of you guys right now?
Well, you can obviously right here on Facebook as well, but we each have our own website, and then we have the platinummarriage.com.
Yeah, and I want to challenge, so many of my pastor friends are watching right now. Please have this couple in. They're fantastic speakers. They had a phenomenal church. They've now come to Southern California. They helped me with the Hollywood Bible Study. The Hollywood Bible Study, for those that do not know, we're over 2,000 members that consider themselves part of the Hollywood Bible Study. They are part of our leadership team at the Hollywood Bible Study, but have them in to speak on different things, but one of them is marriage, okay? And if you're a person that you're thinking of getting married, you are married, you're single, you've been divorced, contact them on relationships. Do not contact me. Contact them. You want to talk about your dreams, your goals, your aspiration, contact me. Contact them on relationships. Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
Okay. I think I put myself down too much in that because I'm getting better on relationships. Okay. So for you've been through a lot. Okay. Give me a little bit of your pain and how it was almost hard to trust this good-looking rascal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me a little bit of that, because there's people right now watching that you are in pain, and how then can you start to trust again? Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, what I've been through, and I mean, it's kind of hard to explain the situation without sharing a little bit of that. I got married at a very young age, it just wasn't a good situation. To make a much longer story short, there was abuse, there was infidelity,
yes.
And when you're young, you don't know any better than to put all of your hopes and dreams and all of that into someone else. And when that doesn't work out, and people warned you, and all of these things, you just, there was a million reasons why I didn't want to leave, from fear to feeling worthless, because that's how abusers mess with your head, to feeling trapped, like I would have no resource. All of those different things. Finally breaking free, finally breaking loose is what it felt like, and having God really be so key in that, in healing my heart, in healing everything, and then having Him so quickly introduce me to someone else. And honestly, I was terrified.
Like, when you say quickly, how quick?
It was just months.
Yeah.
It was just months for me, and I was scared.
Yeah.
I didn't want to meet anybody else. I felt like being single was a gift, not being tied to someone, because in my heart and mind at that time in my life, having a person in my life would equal
And
pain.
did you have kids at that time?
I did.
How many?
2.
Okay, so you had 2 children. And Mike, did you have children at the time?
No.
Okay, so you had 2 children. Because there's a lot of people watching right now. That's what it is. We become these blended families, right? So you're bringing in 2 children, and you had been through a setback, trust issues. Meet this man, likable, stable, strong, but at times probably wondering, is he trifling?
Yes.
Is he up to something?
Yeah.
Who are you texting?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Based on
Absolutely.
what you had gone through before.
Right, exactly. And that's the hard part, because in your mind, everybody's like that. You
Yes.
know, in your mind, somewhere in there, everybody's like that. And here I am 18 years later, he's not like that.
Wow.
And I'm so
See, that
thankful.
I love how you're saying that, because even with what I do, because of the fact, Joseph, I'm over here, the camera guy. Because of the fact of what they've experienced with, let's say, another motivational coach or another spiritual person, a lot of people will think, well, Tim's story is this way because this is how I have experienced it before. But if you have rose-colored glasses, you're going to see rose.
Right.
If you have blue-colored glasses, you're going to see blue.
Exactly.
So you had hurt lenses,
I did.
and so you saw through that pain.
I did. But it was really with the help of God. I mean, God really spoke to me and let me know that my trust was in Him and not in him.
Okay.
You know, that my life was in His hands. And there was just different things He spoke to me through the scriptures. And for me, at that time, it was brand new.
So there's help for the hurting.
Exactly.
We don't have to just lay there,
Right.
get up.
Right.
I do think that was kind of fast that you jumped into another relationship.
Oh, no, we didn't get married.
If you want to know my honest opinion,
Yeah. No, yeah.
just
I don't
months
recommend
later.
that. Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
don't
teasing.
recommend that. Yeah.
So, but it was months later you met him,
Met him.
and then you
Married a
took
year
your
later.
time.
Yeah.
Because I believe in that thing about the seasons. There's a couple of friends of mine that have written books. I think even my friend Danny Chambers in Nashville, hi Danny, that he wrote a book on the seasons. Miles Monroe, how good is he on marriage,
Yeah.
right?
Awesome.
Okay. And so, but I do think you have to go through some seasons and see what's really in a person.
Yeah.
All right. So why did you have this kind of grace to take on what she had been through?
Because I lived that pain as a kid.
Oh,
Yeah, I was in a single parent home.
yeah.
I saw the abuse, been through it myself, heard the abuse, actually jumped through windows because of the abuse,
Wow.
stepped on floors midnights through the abuse. So
Okay.
I saw that, and when I saw her, I knew that it was more than just, a fling.
Yes.
This is somebody who is going through something, and I need to be a solution out of it.
And look at you now.
Yeah.
All right, give them a clap. The Phillips. Get off the stage. Michael Smith, give another clap. Come on, studio audience.